Good morning, Boker Tov, everyone. Dinie and I and two of our children are here in Lake Tahoe on vacation. And right now I'm in California. But watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a few steps over the street. And now that I crossed the street, I'm now standing in the state of Nevada. Because as you may know, Nevada and California, there's a state line. And you just cross the street and you're in another state. And it was very ironic Friday night when we went to Shul, to the Chabad of Nevada. We asked for directions back. The Rebbetzin said, well, where are you going? Are you going to California or Nevada? And when we walked through the streets of Nevada, California doesn't allow gambling, but Nevada does. So throughout the street, walking through the streets of Nevada, everyone's at the casinos gambling. And then you cross one side of the street, you're in a new state, you're in California, and suddenly there's no gambling. This week's Torah portion talks about the journeys of the Jewish people in the desert. They journeyed for 40 years, and the Torah recounts all of the journeys of the Jewish people. And the Torah says they traveled al pi Hashem, by the word of Hashem. And one of the beautiful interpretations of this is that there was a cloud that guided the Jews in the desert, but it teaches each and every one of us a lesson. That when we journey in life, we have to journey according to the word of Hashem. You know, when we talk about crossing a state line, there's a state of mind as well, a state of being. And sometimes the journey from one state of being to another state of being could be a very small distance, but it can make a world of a difference. When we were walking back from Shabbat services and dinner, there were a number of families visiting, one from Atlanta, one from Chicago. We were all walking to the same area. And so we walked together. There was a couple of families with children all dressed beautifully for Shabbat. We walked through the strip in Nevada with all the gambling. Unfortunately, it's not a very attractive sight. It was a Friday night, everyone's out drinking and partying and smoking who knows what, and gambling. And we're walking, we just came from prayers, we just came from making kiddush, we just came from singing songs, from sharing words of Torah and inspiration. We were walking down the same street, but we were in a completely different state of being. And therefore the message is al pi Hashem. We always have to journey by the word of Hashem. Someone just sent me a comic strip today of Moses trying to board a plane, holding the two tablets, one in each hand. And the stewardess tells him, sorry, sir, you could only have one carry-on. As Jews, we always take two carry-ons. We take the Ten Commandments, we take the Torah, and wherever we are, we find a way to celebrate our Judaism, to keep Shabbat, to pray, to do the mitzvot. We always journey according to the word of Hashem. But there's another lesson, and that is, al pi Hashem, nothing is by coincidence in our life. Nothing is random. Wherever our journey in life takes us, in every place, there's a purpose, there's a reason. And we have to fulfill our mission wherever God leads us. There's a rabbi in New York, his name is Rabbi Epstein, and he tells a story that a number of years ago there was a terrible snowstorm in New York. And they didn't pick up the garbage for a couple of days, it was piling up. And suddenly, 1 a.m., he hears the garbage trucks coming down the street. So he runs outside, grabs his garbage cans, and schleps it out front to make sure they pick it up. As he's helping them load his garbage into the truck, there's this garbage collector's name. He says, hey, are you a rabbi? He says, yeah. He says, can I ask you a question? He says, sure. He says, my mother just passed away yesterday. And she was a Jewish woman. She lit her Shabbat candles every Friday night. And I know she would want to have a Jewish burial. But my brothers are saying we should do a cremation because it's cheaper. Maybe you could help me out. I know she would want a proper Jewish burial. The rabbi says, give me your name and number, we'll work it all out tomorrow morning. Sure enough, the rabbi called someone he knows in the funeral home, Chevra Kadisha. They have a service, they provide free funerals for people who can't afford it. And the rabbi calls me, says, I arranged everything, tell your brothers it's not going to cost them anything. And he says, Rabbi, I don't know a rabbi to officiate. Rabbi Epstein says, I will come and officiate. And sure enough, Rabbi Epstein officiates at the funeral and gives this woman a beautiful Jewish funeral just as she deserved. Well, sure enough, the next day, Rabbi Epstein is outside and he sees the garbage truck rolling down the street. So he goes over, he's looking for his new friend Pip. He doesn't see him. He says to the other crew members, where's Pip? They say, oh, Pip, he doesn't work this route in Queens. He works the Long Island route. He was only here with us that day because of the snowstorm. There was a lot of overload. We needed extra help, so he was assigned to come help us in Queens on that particular night. Everything is by divine providence, al pi Hashem, according to the word of Hashem. Wherever we find ourselves, we always have to discover the mitzvah that's awaiting us in that place. Have a wonderful day.